Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Asteroid Cameo, where we talk about all things Transformers. Today is going to be episode 3 of Late Night Chats on Cybertron. So if you guys are new here or don't know what that is pretty much me answering your guys' questions. So I asked you guys it must have been like a week or two ago, to submit some questions, and I'm gonna answer them, and we're just gonna have like a chill chit chat. I feel like this is the setup is the most like late night chats on Cybertron setup I've ever had. Like, I think the last two, I filmed it at night, but I didn't really have like this kind of cozy chill setup. I have B here, Clickin here, I have Megs here, I have a little B here, and I just have a dog here. A very cozy setup. But anyways, another cool thing, we do have 2 yolopark AMK series model kits. Yolopark was kind enough to send me some. These weren't the only ones that they sent me, but I will be unboxing the other ones over on my Instagram, so go check it out over there. But yeah, so we're just gonna have a chat. I'm gonna be answering your questions. Yeah, anyways, let's get right into it. First question we have is, what is your dream figure? That's a good question. I feel like it changes. I don't know, sometimes it also depends on like releases based on like different waves that come out. Has to be 86 Megatron. The moment he's in my vicinity, like that, okay, all hell is gonna break loose. I'm just gonna go insane. I can't think of like a very specific figure that's my dream. Like, again, it all just depends on like what's coming out at the moment. And right now I'm on the rave about 86 Megatron. I don't know who to start with. Okay, we'll start with B. Other B, I'm gonna have to move him to the side here. So this is the Yolopark AMK Series 16 CM model kit, Bumblebee. So, wow, that's so cool. This is the inside. I really like these model kits, honestly. Okay, again, I find like building model kits daunting sometimes. I don't know. It's like, even like Legos, they scare me because they're very like intricate and take a lot of time. So having something like this where it's like, yeah, you can clearly tell where every part goes, that's a win for me. Next question, who's your favorite combiner? Victorion. Another thing about me is that I just love the female Transformers. I think they're so cool. They're so strong and just like, yes. That is also why, like, you know, it inspired me to found by Camia. If you guys don't know what that is the community for women in the Transformers fandom and space. Basically, I just wanted to create a safe space for women to, you know, talk about Transformers and get more opportunities. But yeah, favorite combiner has to be Victorion. I think she's really cool. There's nothing really much to say other than that. I just love her. I love all the fembots, so Victorion. Okay. I did not realize that was 10. I kind of broke the box. It's fine. There's these things that... What is this? Oh, this is the instructions. Thank you, because like, even though it seems straightforward, I feel like someone like me still wouldn't be able to figure it out. So instructions are very helpful. What's one thing you're proud of yourself for? Positive affirmation time. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. I think, okay, I could go on to like a list, because I have started to learn that I think you can be proud of the little things that you've accomplished, like, you know, getting out of bed if that's what you need to do, and that can be a challenging task for some people. So in that case, I feel like a lot of things, I think even just like taking it one step at a time. But also I think this content creation thing, I remember, 10 months ago when I uploaded my first video onto YouTube. It was, we need to talk about D16. I wasn't expecting it to like take off or anything. I did it for fun. And then the next day I remembered I watched it and it had like 1,000 views, and I was so shocked, and I don't know, and from there everything just kind of went up. especially with content, but I think sticking with it as well because it's something that I really enjoy. I won't lie, content creation and thinking of ideas can be difficult at times, and sometimes I do get content blocks, but I think sticking with it and finding meaning, I guess, through content and through the Transformers fandom, that's something that I'm really proud of. And of course, there are a lot of things in my personal life that, you know, I think same thing with everyone else. People have things that they go through, but it's about how you show up, and it's saying, okay, I'm just going to take it one step at a time. I'm gonna keep going forward even though it might hurt, even though it feels like I'm not gonna get anywhere. That is, I think, the bravest thing someone can do, even when it feels impossible, even when it feels daunting. Yeah, I'd say that might be it. Thank you, Nick. That was a really nice question. Thank you. We have B. Ooh, B. What you doing? What am I doing? I am answering your question, and I am building Bumblebee. I should probably read the instructions. I started like assembling it without body. Hey, hi, who's your fav Decepticon? Megatron. I did say that, but yeah. I remember once I did say that my favorite characters kind of switch, again, depending on what's going on in the fandom, if any new releases are coming in terms of like figures or movies. But since I started making content back last year in October, my two favorite characters have still been Windblade and Megatron, so I don't know, I feel like those two aren't gonna change for the foreseeable future. Oh my god, why are the arms complicated? No, they're not, it's fine. Okay, there we go. He is half done. Actually, that wasn't that bad. Okay, please ignore me if I was like, oh my god, this is difficult. That wasn't that bad. He's looking amazing, and I also really love the quality. I mean, for the price you get something like this, yeah, that's a really big win. So thank you, Yolopark. Thundermus Prime, Sean. Hi, Sean. He asked, when will you return? We miss you. You're asking to the States. Hopefully next TFCon I'll be able to make it. I am planning on going back next TFCon. I feel like it has to be it's like a religious thing now. I have to go back every year after going for the first time this year. So I'm definitely gonna try and make it next year. If not, I'll try and make a trip some other time next year to see you guys. That has to be one of the easiest like model kits I have ever made. That took me like 3 minutes without breaks. And I mean that in a really good way, because I love when model kits are so simple to make, and just look how cute. Yeah, Yolopark is cooking, so if you guys haven't already, go buy stuff from them, because next question from Sketch. Hi, Sketch. What's your favorite Transformers show? Always has to be Transformers Prime. I don't think that's ever gonna change unless a show that's that good comes up in the near future. I don't mean to sound pessimistic, but I feel like it may not for a long time. I really think it's gonna be difficult for another show to beat the level of how good Transformers Prime was. So Transformers Prime is my favorite show. Faded. Pineapple on pizza. For me, yes. I grew up eating pineapple on pizza. I love Hawaiian pizza, and even when I get pepperoni pizza, I ask them to add pineapples. And you guys might think I'm a freak or whatever, but I love it. It tastes great. So yes, pineapple on pizza, absolutely yes. Next question is favorite Autobot and why? Favorite Autobot is, okay, so I know in some Transformers media, Windblade is like a neutral, or she's not really associated with a faction, but in some other and most media, she is an Autobot, so I'd have to go with Windblade. She is just so powerful. I look up to her in so many ways. She is pretty much like the woman that I want to be, like, you know, she is a leader, she doesn't give up, she is calm, collected, she's kind to people, she's just incredible. That's the word I have to describe her as. Like, she has a lot on her plate, but she handles it with so much grace, and again, that's like the person that I want to be. So yeah, I'd have to say Windblade for that. Next question, what is your favorite Transformers Prime episode? Season 3, episode 7+1. Yeah, I don't know, I I think it's just a really funny episode. I also love the dynamic that Wheeljack and RC had ever since I was a kid. Watching like that episode for the first time, I went crazy over it. I went crazy over those two. I thought they were such good partners. Yeah, I don't know. +1 has to be my all-time favorite. I rewatch it all the time, at least like once a week. And if you asked me like my 2 favorite characters from Transformers Prime, it would be Prime RC and Prime Wheeljack. So yeah. Okay, before I answer this next question, I need to like eat because this is gonna take a while. So do you guys ever get that feeling when you're like so hungry and then you finally have food in front of you and you're like, and it just feels like you've ascended into all the 7 heavens? Like, this is the Indonesian in me coming out. So yeah, okay. Next question, do you think Bayverse Prime was a disrespectful take on the character? I'll answer it this way. I can see why some people would. To be honest, I don't think. Okay, I can see why some people would see it that way. For me, when it comes to characters, I like seeing them explored in different manners, in different ways. I think you can do a lot with characters like Optimus Prime, Megatron, whatever, you know, you can explore how they think differently in different media and different universes and continuities. I can see why people didn't like Bayverse Prime because of course he's supposed to be the stoic, put together leader who doesn't lash out, who has his emotions in check. But I personally really liked that version of him because I think even someone who is seen as like a god, who is seen as like, you know, this well-respected leader, after like a millennia of civil war, of losing almost everything and you know, to the point where he even came to Earth and had to deal with all of our BS, like I don't know, I feel like I would lose my calm too. So I know that again, he is supposed to be portrayed as someone who always puts other people first, is helpless, you know, sacrifices for other people. But I feel like there can also be a time when you just kind of give up, because if you're going about something in one way and you don't get the result that you thought you would get, like for him, he's been like, Optimus has been a very noble and kind person, but if all he's got from that was, you know, pain and suffering and death, there's gonna be a point when I think he's just gonna crash out, and he did in Bayverse. Seeing him crash out like that is honestly valid to me, because I would crash out even worse than him if I lost all my friends, all the people I've loved. So I can see why people would say it was like a disrespectful take on the character, but I think we need those different takes. I will say I think it could have been written a bit better, that's what I will say, but overall I liked seeing that take on him, seeing him like lose control, because again, I think it's valid. But yeah, that's my opinion. Okay, next question is, how do you feel about Michael Bay returning to direct Transformers? Okay, I'm a bit 50-50 on it. Like, I don't know, I'm still kind of in a limbo. At this point, I'm also in a state of like, I just need something like new. I need more Transformers media. So there have been times where I'm like, it doesn't matter, I just need like a new film. But I hope he just does it right, in the sense that I hope they're not just bringing him back because like he made the money like from Transformers, like in the sense that his movies drew in the most money, and I hope that's not the main reason, because of course I feel like that's just gonna go wrong. I don't know, I have a feeling that it's gonna get better, just Transformers in general, especially with like Skybound Comics. They've been doing amazing, and also like the Skydance merger. I just have this gut feeling that it's gonna get better, so I'm gonna trust them. And I know this is like, might be difficult for some other people to say that, but I don't know, I have a good feeling, and hopefully like the break that he's had from directing these films might have given him some time to think it through more. I don't know, I'm gonna have faith. I'm gonna have faith and just see what happens. Oh my god, this is so good. Yeah, next question is, how long have you been a Transformers fan? Just a bit over 8 years now. So June 21st, 2017 is when I watched The Last Night. So I kind of count that as like my anniversary, my Transformers anniversary. So yeah, just a little over 8 years. On my 10-year like anniversary of being a Transformers fan, I'm gonna do something special. I know it's gonna be a very like emotional thing for me. Will you be releasing that song you posted a bit about a few weeks ago? Okay, so if you guys also don't know, something else that I do in my spare time is music. So in the past, I've actually created, like, recorded, composed, edited, mixed, and written a few songs on my own. But of course I never really published them because they were just for fun. But one of those songs was actually based off of Transformers, and it was kind of like, I tried to make it like a story about how an Autobot would feel during the war for Cybertron, during the war. So it's a very like dark and emotional, gritty kind of song, but also one about hope. So I actually have like a whole demo and everything. Again, music isn't really something I am thinking of getting into, or it's not like the main big thing like content creation is for me now, but I've always loved music from a very young age, so I wouldn't rule it out. And if you guys do want to hear that song, I can insert like a little bit of it here actually. Yeah, if you guys do want to hear it eventually, I would probably want to actually make it more, you know, more clean and more professional before, if I actually was to release it. But I wouldn't rule it out. It's just not something that I'm focusing on like as of now. Again, anything's possible. What is your current Transformers figure holy grail? It still has to be, okay, he's in the bedroom right now and I'm kind of seems to get up. I'm so sorry. It has to be Transformers masterpiece, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the MPM 12 Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. So that was actually sent to me from BBTS, which I absolutely adore, so thank you so much and shout out to them. But honestly, it's the most incredible Optimus Prime figure I've ever had. Like, I'm still in shock every time I look at it. It's just so perfect, it's so articulated and so detailed, and I know the price point is a bit up there, but I would say if you want to invest in, you know, a really good quality wise and like just a figure that looks like it came and jumped out of the screen, I would say that like, or the Masterpiece series are a good place to start. Not like starting in collecting, but if you want to get into like the more higher price point figures. I have a shelf in my bedroom for all my figures, but I have him like on my desk because he's just too good. Next question, what got you into Transformers? The starting point again was Transformers The Last Night back in 2017, and again that might be a bit weird to some people, but it is what it is. I don't know what it was. It just happened to be that movie. But I think as I got more into the community and the fandom, I think it was definitely how welcoming people were. I think I like it a lot because it's very, I think, misunderstood, and hear me out on this, in the sense that I think general public see it as just robots that transform into cars, right? Like there's nothing much else really about it. But if you look deeper, and as a Transformers fan you know, there's so many themes that are explored in Transformers, like society, politics, humor, relationships, friendships, all of that is, it's not just like one singular thing that a lot of people I think still think it is. Like they're just robots that transform into cars. They're not. And there's like so much that you can explore with the Transformers story, and there's so many different ways it has been explored. I think that's why I like it so much. There's so much like variation. So that's what got me like further into it, and that's what got me to, I think, connect more with the franchise. I am going to start opening this guy here. But let's answer another question. Do you think Megatron could handle a 1v1 against Megatronus? That is funny. You know what? I am biased, so I would be like on the sidelines cheering Megatron on. But if we're talking like realistically, I think his chances would be kind of slim. But, you know, there's always a chance, right? So I would say maybe, who knows? Even though realistically, of course, I think Megatronus would take the upper hand. But it's okay. What was your first Transformer? My first figure has, what was it? Okay, I'm not sure what they are, like the name of it, but it was an Optimus Prime and Bumblebee like figurine. Really small ones, just about this big. I'll actually insert a photo here right now. Yeah, those were like my two first like figures. If you want to talk about like actual like from actual figures, my first one would be the deluxe class 86 movie RC. And I got her, I think, back in October 2022. Like, that was the first time I properly went into a toy store and like browsed around the TF section. And then I saw her and I was like, okay, she's my queen. I have to have her. Guys, this is insane. Wow, okay, can we just appreciate the art? Look at that. What's next on your Transformers wish list? Meeting a specific VA, another con? Ooh, good question. I haven't actually thought about that. I don't know. I feel like I've been so blessed to have been able to like go to TFCon, go to like, you know, Universal Studios, to have the figures that I have, to have this community. I feel like in that sense I'm like, I don't know, I'm so grateful for like all the things that I do already like have and have experienced. Okay, maybe I think TFCon LA next year is main thing I'm aiming for in terms of like a big event. Ooh, I definitely want to meet Peter Cullen at least once at some point. I have met Frank Welker already at TFCon LA, and that was a very full circle moment. All of TFCon LA this year was a full circle moment. It was just, you know, and meeting all of you guys and Primes Do Party. It was incredible, and I missed that experience. Like, I want to do it all over again, so probably I'd have to say TFCon LA next year, but also meeting Peter Cullen one day. That would be a dream come true. Okay, I'm gonna have to read the instructions on this. Oh my god, guys. Okay, the thing I love about like Optimus Prime figures is like opening the chest to see the little matrix inside. They're just so cute. Okay, I'm too scared to take it out, but you guys can see there. That's so cute. His body is done. Favorite Transformers movie? If you're just asking bayverse, it would be Age of Extinction, but all the Transformers movies together, then of course Transformers 1. That movie outdid every expectation I had. I still think about it to this day. I think about it like when I'm in the shower. I think about it before I sleep. It's a really good movie. That's all I can say. So Transformers 1. Age of Extinction is second after that, and I have my reasons. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, what? Age of Extinction? I could do like a whole video on it, and I might get cancelled, or I might get like hated on for some people for saying that, but long story short, it's more of an emotional connection that I have with that movie, because that was the first piece of Transformers media that I have ever seen in my entire life. I think it kind of stems from there. I'm a person who's very like intuitive and emotional and introspective. I think that's the word in that sense, so I think that's where the connection comes from. But yeah. What's it like to have friends who you can talk to about Transformers? It is incredible, I will say that, because the majority of my time being a Transformers fan, I would say 7 years, until I actually started creating content, I had no one I could talk to Transformers about. All my friends in real life were interested in other movies and other TV shows. Especially when I was going through like high school and stuff, most of the people were like, Transformers? I didn't really get judged for it, but it was kind of like it wasn't something that like you'd hear often, like seeing someone be like, I like Transformers, and like I was that girl who was like, oh, I like Transformers, and of course it was like even more like, huh, because I was a girl. That's why I'm getting into this content creation space and making like all these friends that I have. I am so grateful for it, and some of these people that I've met, especially like Prime Stew Party, and now that I have like Bicamia, especially my team as well, I am so grateful for all of these people because I don't consider them to be like just friends. Even like I would go so far to say that they're like family to me. I don't know, they're just the kindest people that I've ever met. So welcoming and so easy to get along with and talk to. So yeah, but I've also been that person who hasn't had any friends in the Transformer space. I've many times felt lonely without anyone to like geek out over when a new movie would come out. So I understand how that feels, and I think something that can help with that is joining like online spaces, going to conventions like TFCon, TF Nation. Like I said, joining online spaces like Discord servers. You can really meet a lot of people, and you know, you never know, you might meet your next best friend there. He is half done. If you have another Titan class, who would it be and why? Ooh, another Titan class figure. So my first Titan class is actually Tripticon from the recent Age of the Primes line, and that was actually sent to me from Go New Meta. They're a new toy store online and business, and they have an amazing variation of figures, collectibles at really good and reasonable prices, so I'd recommend checking them out for sure. But yeah, they sent me Tripticon, which was my first Titan class, which is really, really cool. I think he's so cute, honestly. Like I have him like next to my bed, and I'm just like... Anyways, if I had to have another Titan class, probably the Nemesis, because again, she is a gal. From what I've been told, which I actually never knew that until very recently. So I think it would be cool, and I think her design's really cool. I love the purple. I love how sleek the design is. Also, the Nemesis is like, I think one of my favorite parts about like the Decepticon faction. Like I don't know, there's something about that warship. It's really cool. Oh, okay. There he is. Wow, he's standing like that emoji, like, you know that emoji that just stands, like, the quality is so impressive, honestly. And that was so easy to build. I love the paint on this, like the color, wow. So that is him, and this is him next to B. Aw, it's like the father-son duo. Amazing, go support Yolopark for sure. Anyways, those are all the questions that I'm gonna be answering for you guys today. That was pretty much it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys do want more like sit-down chats like this, just let me know. I'll make it happen. Other than YouTube, you guys can find me on my Instagram, which is at @astridcamia as well. Also, go check out Bicamia, again, the community that I founded for women in the Transformers fandom. And also, don't forget to check out Glasses Camia, which is, again, the new shared run account between me and Glasses Kun. Leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe if you'd like to. That would really help the channel a lot. That is all from me, you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, wherever you are. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Mwah.